Because the second I walked in the door, I knew something was up. I could tell. The second I walked in, I knew. Papa wasn't here. Papa didn't know, but he walked in and he could tell. Welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead, not only for you, but also for me. I just spent 3 days gone. Had some stuff to take care of out of state over in Memphis, Tennessee. And now I've arrived home. I've got something I want to show you that my family did when I was gone. But before I get to it, you know, I don't just wear the shirt. Gardening, it tastes better than starvation. I also garden, and part of that's working with nature, right? Boy, those are amazing. These are the passion flower, and they're balling up. Look at this. Soon enough, he'll be ready. What's up, Mama Turkey? Your babies are getting huge. She just turned 1 year old. That's one of the ones she hatched out already. We gotta get one of those breeders back there in the smoker. But I wanted to peek up in the garden before I went in the house. Ay, ay, ay. This one, oh yeah. It doesn't have many. I think it has 2. But they look absolutely amazing. I don't know if you guys saw my fruit tree conspiracy video. I'm gonna check this one on the other side too as I head up to the garden. Then I'll go from there. Just want to give it a feel. I love peaches. Honestly, one of the coolest ones we can grow in this area. I just wanted to check something up at the snake gourds here. And then once I get past that, pop in the house, talk to my wife for a bit, because the second I walked in the door, I knew something was up. I could tell. The second I walked in, I knew. But these snake gourds here, I'm working on a special video to release this fall when they're all done. He's throwing those blackberries. So good. But snake gourds. Look at that, guys. This is supposed to be an archway. They're locking and blocking me out. Oh yeah. Okay. We're letting a number of these go to seed. This guy's over 4 feet long. This one's probably shy of that, but it's massive. These ones will be for early next week. What do we got here? Another one we're letting go to seed. Look at all these danglers here. And this one's ready for, that one a little extra. That should have been picked. I wasn't here. They did pick at least one while I was gone. This one looks like it wants to go to seed too. I think I'm going to hit them again with some rabbit manure down there at the bottom and let these guys grow. It's just, this is my top garden plant, so now that I'm back home to come check them out in the garden. And honestly, I thought this thing would come crashing down this year. It hasn't yet. That doesn't mean it won't. A couple big ones hiding down there too. And there was some in this stuff. Unfortunately for the tomatoes that were growing here, both the wild passion fruit, look at that, so many, the wild passion fruit, and then the snake gourds decided to overtake that trellis as well. Still some good tomatoes coming in though. Woo! Alright, the sun chokes. I have wires here to rope these guys back. I really have to. I promise I'll go inside and show you this stuff in a minute. It's just hard sometimes not to appreciate this stuff. What's up, child?
I have a question for you. These are so big.
What's that? The trifoliate citrus?
Can't wait for them to be ready. This one is not fuzzy anymore right here. Feels like real fruit.
I can't wait to grow our own citrus. I mean, we are. But this will be the first year we get to taste it. Is that exciting?
Yeah.
What's your question?
Do you need Mom to gas up, right?
No, I 100% gassed up already.
Oh, great. Okay.
She can pick up the milk, which was illegal in Wisconsin. And you know what you're supposed to buy for me?
Bubble wrap mailer thing?
Yes.
Mom has this
Yes.
thing.
Yep. You give me at least 5, somewhere between 5 and 7. This is amazing too. This is my first welding in the garden project. It provides shade for my strawberries as well, but look at the muscadines coming in. Those things are so delicious. All right, the cow wants some camera time, then we're gonna head in. Xenia, I can see you. I'll tell you what I'll do, cow. I'm gonna pick some weeds for you. Oh, look at that. It's using the end of that to scratch itself. I got some weeds I can pick for you. So I'll throw you over some of those. You say thank you? The cow don't speak English. It's not much, but I promise there's more where that's coming from. It's the one thing I like about having... Wow. That is some soil. About having an animal pen of grazers. Yeah, right next to the garden. It's added incentive to pull weeds. Thank you. Thanks for helping. Let's go inside. It was the second I walked in here, darling. I knew what you'd done. I knew what you had did. Pinky, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Papa wasn't here. Papa didn't know, but he walked in and he could tell. And what did I see, my lady?
The canned jars on the counter.
I saw jars, and I left jars sitting here, I think. But my jars were full of what? Can you pick me up the prop? Yeah, my jars were full of, what's that called, child?
Snake guard.
Yeah, I had pickled snake gourds I left here in quart jars, and I came home and I saw stuff like this. And I said, oh, I know what happened. And there was 2 pressure canners going too. I said, y'all killed all the meat chickens. All of them, while I was gone.
Yep. It was a surprise.
So the vast majority of the time, I would say I play a lead role, at least in instigating the chicken butchering, right? Because I'm the killer. But this time, I wasn't even here, and they did them all. Now I will say with our meat chickens, we originally hoped to do like what, 100 this spring?
Yeah.
100 this spring, and we went in with some people just to kind of get some bulk pricing in the future and stuff. And what happened is we had a number of people. I was under somebody. Okay, there was a main guy running the show. I was under him, and I had a number of people under me. And it was in kind of the heat of spring or something. I don't know. It was a really hot day. It was not doing well. And I went down to pick up from the post office with my guy. And there was a massive amount of loss to begin with. And still more were dying as we were going. That's part of the thing. They don't always make it. So we brought home a quantity. And it wasn't a good quantity. And we had a high, it was bad. But there was a high amount of loss that first day for us. So when people came to pick us up, or pick up what they ordered, we gave them full quantities, and all the loss we ate ourselves. So it meant our 100 turned into much, much fewer. And what we got is we got a credit for the ones that died. That was fine. So we didn't buy a bunch of dead birds. We got a credit for that, a reimbursement. But the actual amount then, darling, that we called was how many when you guys did? Like 19?
Yes.
So we had 19 birds we actually did. Darling, what's that big red thing? Can you pick that up for me? Where'd that come from?
Garden.
The garden, can you split it and show me the inside? Oh, darling.
Juicy goodness.
That's fresh garden stuff. She's working on a dinner for tonight. It's going to be delicious. Hey, that's from the garden too, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like eating fresh. And who took care of Cullen this time?
Well, Pinky started off, and then Monster Truck wanted to give it a shot, and so I told him to go ahead and try it, and he was really good at it. He was really glad.
Good.
So he worked out really well, and then Pinky and Red Pepper were the skinners. We skinned just to make it easier.
That was my second question. Was I said, well, who ran the scalder to pluck the feathers?
Yeah.
And they went easy and just decided to skin them all.
Yep, Pinky said she knew how to do it, so it's like, okay, you know how to do it, then let's do it. and they were there.
And eventually, like, what happened? Where were you?
I came inside after a while. I watched them do a couple outside, and then we were there for a bit.
Once you were confident they knew what they were doing and they understood the process.
Yep.
Mama just came inside.
I came inside, and we started, we were kind of waiting for them to finish up a good batch so we could start cutting them up and putting them in the jars for canning them right away. And they just went for it, and Pinky and Monster Truck kind of finished them all up, like, I think by themselves mostly, because Red Pepper got a cut on her finger.
Yeah.
And so it was amazing. I'm like, whoa. And Monster Truck came in here for a little bit, and he's like, I gotta get back out there. I gotta go help Pinky finish up and stuff. And I'm just like, whoa, really good. So really good attitudes about that. I was really glad
Wow.
about them helping one another. So
And I was actually gonna go get some more meat birds. We like doing a fall batch too. Had a friend of ours who learned a lot over the years, and he does fall batches. He has his reasons, and I trust his reasons. I was gonna be doing that Sunday, but that plan fell through. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll be culling my previous batch of meat birds. But then to get home after working hard for a couple days, honestly, I was working on some stuff outside for many hours in 106-degree heat yesterday. It took a lot out of us, That's not good work environment for outside, but we made it through. So I was, coming home from a bunch of hard work, thinking of all the hard work I had to do, and no, they culled them all. They canned them all. I mean, they're all done. You guys had gizzards for lunch. Everything else is done. She's working on chicken soup for dinner tonight. And now we get to cull our other stuff, darling. We got turkeys, ducks, guineas, and chickens to cull. So that'll be good. I was blown away. I did not expect that from these children. But I mean, how many seconds was I in the door before I knew what happened?
One.
very
Pinky.
observant.
You walked in the door and you just looked straight to the counter. What is that? And then you just.
Did I ask what it was, or did I ask if it was the meat chickens?
Oh, you asked if it was the meat chickens, and you just like, what? And then it was really funny. You just like walked in the door and you just looked right there, right away.
Well, I'm observant. It's good to be aware of what?
Your surroundings.
Yeah, it's something I'm trying to teach you guys, and part of it's leading by example, so I have to be aware of my surroundings. So from your point of view, it was really fun?
Funny when you walked in.
Oh, okay.
But it was
I cut you off. How'd the job go from your point of view?
It was pretty nice. Bugger helped, and it was Red Pepper was out there for a little bit, and Mom went inside with everybody else except Bugger, me, Monster Truck, and Red Pepper. And then we were all working out there, and it was pretty fun. We were just talking and stuff, and then Red Pepper went back inside, and it was just me, Monster Truck, and Bugger, and we just finished them up, and we had a really fun time.
Now, a bit ago I did a video about a smokehouse I was building up in Missouri at some friends. And we went up there not only for the smokehouse, but to help them cull, right? Do you remember how many we culled that time?
Like 700?
Yeah, it was just shy of 700, I think. Over 650, heading up towards 700. So, what was the difference this time?
It was like barely any. Like he killed all the ones that we had brought there, and I was like, okay, we need to go get our chickens. Like I was expecting like a bunch more, and he's like, oh, we're done. I was like, what? We already butchered all the chickens? It was really funny though, because we just barely had any.
And I want you to contemplate that. You have a 13-year-old and down, a handful of small children, going like, oh yeah, taking care of almost 20 meat birds, 19's almost 20. That was nothing, that was fun, that was easy. Think about that, because I'll tell you what, if I had to do 20 birds by myself, that would take some effort, that would take some time, wouldn't it, darling? Mm-hmm. What would you think if you had to do 20 birds by yourself?
That would definitely take me a long time.
Yeah.
We got it done, darling. They were done between I think 2 hours.
Wow.
To skin them all, because they skinned them. They didn't hot water bath the chicken.
And that was with people
It's
being a
called
little
chicken.
bit silly too sometimes. So.
Oh yeah, well I mean they enjoy it, and you can't just sit there and scold them the whole time and be like, no, you frown and be serious, and enjoy it, get the job done. But did they make the squeaky noise?
The chickens?
Did you guys?
Yeah.
When they were, yeah. See, they like to go, make them make their
They
noises.
just push on the back and the chicken just goes.
Yeah, I think one of the last times we did chickens, there was a rubber chicken inside one of the chickens too.
Yeah, inside of its crop.
they gave a little rubber finger flinger chicken, and the thing swallowed it, and then you open it up, and there's a little chicken in there.
It was a little head, a little rubber chicken head peeking out of its crop.
And you know, one thing to encourage you guys, okay? Mama Pepper and I, we started culling chickens in Wisconsin for friends, and we provided pretty much free labor for help, right? So we provided free labor to get educated, and I think they blessed us with some stuff too. Because people are like that. Even, when we helped our friends with the pile, we just went to bless them, and they sent us home with chickens, and we were like, oh, it's, they're like, do you guys bring a cooler? And we're like, well, of course we didn't bring a cooler. They were not saying, oh, you guys got chickens? Go here, we'll come cull some with you and bring a cooler. Like, that's not how we're going to live life. But they sent us home with some. That was a huge blessing. And the cool thing is that as we get to learn, at this stage of life, pretty much. I mean, we've been at it, that has to be about 10 years now, roughly, since we, culled our first chickens. But then to be raising our children in that type of environment where they have an opportunity and where they can be confident with just taking care of the whole thing. And, they're not even, 15, they're small children. But start where you're at. If we would have started later in life, we still would have started. We wouldn't have said, oh no, we're too old, let's not. Now it's easier to do it now and have our children learn with us. That's a blessing. That's insane. What a load off of your shoulders. What a load off of my shoulders, just to walk home and be like, walk in the door and be like, huh, I don't need to worry about any of that. And you wanted to surprise me. They didn't tell me.
Yep. He asked me yesterday what I was doing, and I'm like, uh-oh. Papa asked me what I was doing.
I thought you were suspiciously silent. I'm like, is she mad at me? Like, I'll be home tomorrow.
So I just said, I think I said I was working in the kitchen. Or
yeah, you said you were working on stuff.
Doing?
Things are going well.
Good.
Short answers. Nondescript.
So yeah, and then I don't know what else you asked me later, and I'm like, I'm just working in the kitchen. Are you still up? And I was like, yep. Working in the kitchen, and so I was trying not to tell him what we were up to, but I just wanted to surprise him because I know he's doing a lot of things and he's working, and it's like I knew these meat chickens needed to be butchered soon, and I didn't want to lose them.
Right, you don't want to lose them. You don't
guys,
want to feed them extra for no return.
Yeah, so I'm like, we have to butcher the chickens today, and I thought when we were going to butcher them, it was on Wednesday. It was actually Thursday, and I'm like, no, it's Thursday. Whoa, we gotta do this fast. We didn't even get started till like 5 o'clock, guys.
Right, because Friday's our prep day. Which I'll let you keep prepping.
Oh my, it was horrible.
Can I see your baby?
It went
I think
well, though.
turn the other. Well, poor little baby. I'll tell you what. She's sleeping right now. But what I do? Did you record much video when you were taking those sweet photos, Pink? I see there's a video of her. I'll insert that. That'll have to serve its purpose instead of this.
Where's my girl, Jubilee?
Say hi, everybody.
Girl, Jubilee.
Hi. Say I'm a big girl.
All right, son. I caught you guys. I left, but when I walked back in, I saw what you guys were doing. So you're gonna take a break from dishes, and you're gonna tell me a story. What in the world happened when I was gone? Whose idea even was this?
This was Mama's.
Mama's idea?
Yes, sir.
And you children went along with it?
Yeah. So I woke up and I went into her room to go get the little pepper, and then she told me that we were gonna butcher the meat chickens today, and so then I went and woke up all the other peppers, and so then we went outside and we were getting everything ready, and then we rinsed out the coolers. Me and Mom ran to
That's why the cooler's gone. That makes sense.
and we ran to the store and got some ice, and then we caught all the chickens and started butchering them.
How'd you guys start butchering them?
Pinky Pepper started using the scissors first, and then I asked Mom if I could try to kill a chicken. And then I just grabbed a knife and just stuck its head out of the cone, just kind of pulled it down and just went across, and its whole head just came right off.
Yeah, we just decapitate them. Some people say it works better if you leave them, like when we're helping our friends.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll stick to what we know for now, and we'll change things later. Son, your garlic looks amazing. Was that a lot of work too?
Yeah.
Yeah? So not only do we got this canned chicken, all right? Look at that. I got 1 quart and 3 pints of garlic honey going. That's that stuff we got from the woods. I just actually mailed a bunch of bulbils to different people around the country so they can grow some too. And do you think there's more or less growing in the woods now up there than when we started?
More.
There's a lot more. And it pulls out a major harvest every year. So man, I appreciate your hard work, because guess what? A lot of jobs around here, why do I do them?
Because we can't do them?
Because yeah, you guys can't. So that's what a lot of my life is based on. There's things that I can do that nobody else can do. So then when there's things that you guys can do, I encourage them too. I did not expect you guys just to do your own, you know, whole entire batch of meat chickens and come home and there's no meat chickens left. That's amazing. You guys can still help me as we cull some other stuff, but that's it. There's things that fall into my category. If we got to drive to Wisconsin, who's going to drive?
You?
Yeah, I'm going to drive. I'm not going to be able to have them do that. They can't help with that. And that's fine. I don't even usually, you know, Mama Pepper just gets to sit down and relax and I'll take care of the driving, even though she could help. But with these guys, there's plenty of things that they can do, and that only gets you so far. But when you're able to, you know, apply that knowledge, that's the best can do. So to have the knowledge and to be willing to apply it, so super big thank you, son. Like, guess what he can do right now? What can you do right now?
Dishes?
He can do the dishes. I'm actually working on a video and mailing out some stuff for you guys. He doesn't know how to make shipments. You know, he doesn't. I make the shipments. I'll teach him one day. It'll be part of a lot of learning. Penmanship too, you know. If you don't address an envelope right, they don't know where to send it. So, all right, that was crazy. I can't believe it. And I'll tell you what too, this is so good. This is like drumsticks and all in here. There's all sorts of bones in here. But the canning process gives it an opportunity to kind of suck a bunch of that stuff out of the bones, because, you know, we don't swallow whole chicken bones and digest them. So it's a way to get more nutrition. And I'll tell you what too, having a couple freezers around here, I'm glad to be able to have stuff canned, because in the event of a power outage, I don't need to plug in my canned goods, you know what I mean? All right, we'll see you next time. Pop out.
Thank you for watching. Hit the left button. Thumbs up.
The cow head is good?
Yeah.
That's because you know.